We're the Green Digital Finance Alliance, so we were born in 2017 because it's time to rethink green finance. Really, the habits of green finance currently is to focus on commitments. We have great initiatives like Principles for Responsible Investment. We have Net Zero Asset Owners Alliance. But a lot of these initiatives, they were born more than the Principles for Responsible Investment were born more than 15 years ago. And look where we are today. Of the $1 trillion bond market, only 2% are green. We have only 1% of the fund market that is labeled ESG. And we have only 5 to 10% of bank loans that are green, and that's only in countries where it's actually measured. So we need an additional avenue to committing financial service institutions to do different allocation of capital. We need an avenue that's paved by digital innovation. Digital innovation brings to green finance a number of ways to rethink it. It offers to re-innovate capital markets so they better respond to the size of the green assets. The majority of green assets never travel to capital markets because they're too small. With digital finance, you can issue a bond that corresponds to the level and capital needs of the green asset. You can also get to another regime where we have assets directly reporting green metrics rather than a company disclosing it. So you can actually trust your green investments. But what I want to focus on is that you can also unlock the trillions of savings that are sitting in that are sleeping at the moment in savings accounts of you and me and of citizens around the world. And there are actually quite a number of these innovations already out there. We work with the UN, we've worked with the G20 to map out these innovations globally. It's green robo-advice, as we've seen in Germany, where you can allocate part of your savings to get a return and invest in a greener future. It's also a payment card you can get in the Nordics that has an inbuilt carbon limit. So once you have purchased enough embedded carbon through your everyday purchases, it will simply block and you can't consume anymore. Or it's these types of digitally enabled retail government securities that we see in Indonesia or other parts of Southeast Asia, where states are actually starting to say, let's raise green capital with our citizens rather than doing it in international capital markets and thereby having to service debt outside rather than service debt to our citizens. And now you may sit and think, but that's all good and fine, but are these innovations really scaled? And we work with the biggest green digital champion in the world. It's 500 million people that if they use this mobile wallet and they download an application called Ant Forest, then what they get is that they invite algorithms to automatically analyze 18 of their behaviors and give them an automated real-time carbon footprint on these behaviors. When they then start to change their behaviors so they decrease their carbon footprint, they then get rewarded by digital green energy points. When they have transitioned to sufficiently carbon light lifestyles and they have enough green energy points, they can start to plant a virtual tree on the platform. And that platform is then transitioned or translated into a real tree that's planted in real time. And they get drones to take pictures and get that directly to the user so the user can see real time their green impact. That is 550 million people now using that carbon wallet to actually be part of climate finance. Climate finance that with the Paris Agreement is mainly made available for big corporates or for states is now also through Fintech being made available to citizens. So the 500 million can also travel to be part of the more than 7 billion people we are in the world if we deploy Fintech wisely to invite people in to become action-oriented and put their capital into climate finance. Thank you.